Don't idealize these people. Philosophers had a lot of great points, but they were still human. First of all, they lacked science. Second of all, they were artists. A lot of them. Half of their work, half of their worth, half of the reason they got any attention was because they were artists. Because it was beautiful, not because it was true. Even if it was, this is a very important point. Most people go through hardship in order to enjoy that hardship. Do you understand what I mean? This is no fucking your ordinary channel, and we're not just some edgy kids who just learned about philosophy. I don't even read books. Anything I know because I think. It's not because I'm memorizing these reels just like Jet Franzen. He who sees too much ends up not fitting in anywhere. Quote. Music. Pathetic. I don't care who. I don't care about nothing. Let's go on a live stream. Give me a book. I'll open it. We'll read it together. And I'll show you how stupid these philosophers can get. Anyway, let's not go on a rant. I'll prove you, I promise. I'm not just trying to get your attention. I mean it. I'll prove it to you. If you don't give me a chance, then you're not wise. You're a fool. You just want to obey your, what's the word? Anyway, obey your master. You don't want to go any further. Well then, keep being in the same level as the guy who made this reel. In this video, we're going to react to someone's video on what really is wisdom about, even. And it's a very mainstream explanation of wisdom. And I'm going to change your whole perception on philosophy and wisdom. I promise you, after subscribing, after becoming even a friend of mine, we can become friends if we make a Discord channel or whatever. I promise you, no channel on YouTube, no book published by any philosopher, I know these are bold claims, could ever make you wiser than you are getting right now. I promise. Let's go ahead and react to the reel, shall we? He has like 50k followers. I forgot his name. I downloaded the reel. So let's check it out. Let's see what he has to say. I don't know if you can hear it, but I prefer if I don't edit it because this is more natural. I think this makes it better.
I think wisdom is the most beautiful thing a person can build, and yet nobody really knows what it actually means. Here are 4 definitions of what every great man was actually chasing. Number 1, wisdom begins with knowing how much you don't know. Socrates called this the foundation of every other virtue. No matter how much you think you know, there's infinitely more in that which you do not. You are always going to know closer to nothing than you do to anything. And anyone who thinks otherwise is simply ignorant. The day you stop being able to be wrong is the day you stop being able to grow.
Alright. Now, what alright? What are you talking about, Aryan? You're gonna criticize this fundamental point of intelligence? Scholarship? Yeah. This. I hate this. It's a correct saying. Well done, Socrates. But, things, everything has nuances. And I'll explain to you what nuances. You see, you having this mindset of, I know that I don't know anything, is cool, sounds cool, is humbling, and because it's humbling, it's actually honorable. let's discard this the side that gives it coolness. It makes it sound dope, so people like to repeat it. And my next point is, this applies to knowledge. Yes, knowledge is basically infinite. Now, what knowledge is infinite? You see, I always give this example. It's not my examples are pretty limited because I have talked about them so many times. It's not because I don't know what other examples, I can't just make up other examples. It's simply that these are so strong, I'm going to keep repeating these. Do you know what God looks like? Will you ever know what God looks like, at least in this lifetime? No, you won't. Humanity will never discover what God looks like, what God is, what is before life, what is after life, you know? Now, you might say, how do you know that? If we don't know anything about it, how do you know we will never reach it? Well, I can give you multiple reasons, but let's not go through them in this video. So you don't know that, okay? And you will never know. No one will ever know. So knowledge in that subject is a dead end. So it's not infinite. So knowledge isn't infinite. So how much do you know exactly? Oh, we know that God doesn't exist, or if it does, we don't know. Okay, you know this. This is the knowledge you gained. Can you, after gaining this knowledge, come up to me and tell me that you don't know? If you say this, you're a coward. You don't have the courage to stay on your opinion. Stay on truth, not opinion. You see how his words, which are everyone's words, are very an overall look on everything. You must come up to me and be like, God is not here and we will never see him. Okay. I know that. Okay. Good. If you come up to me and be like, oh, God doesn't exist, we never saw God and we most likely never will. But I don't know. I know that I don't know. Guys, don't listen to me. I don't know. I mean, this is as much as we know, but I don't know. It's simply the thing I said before. It's just a humbling ritual that makes you feel good. You know it. Just say the damn thing. This is true wisdom. Not being a nerd. You disagree with me? Write down in the comments. You're totally free. I have time. I'll read your comment. 10 paragraphs. Write it down. Come on Discord. Let me. I don't even remember my password. It's not that I'm active on Discord. I know I sure damn look like a fucking Discord mod wolf guy, but I'm not. I mean, this Boruto wallpaper isn't really helping, but I do have a GF. So you better listen to me. I'm not an incel. For those who base people's worth on them being a true cell or whatever. So there's that. Now I want to play one video of my own. I love these because the way they talk, it's AI, I guess, but it's the source of these words are from philosophers. I think these are AI made, but just because they're made by AI doesn't mean they're low value. So listen to this. This basically tells my point in a better way. Not exactly, but just take it as if I'm saying this, okay? I don't care what Nietzsche meant from this. Take my meaning and apply it to these words.
He who jumps into the void owes no explanation to those who stand and watch. The ones who stay behind will always demand reasons, because fear needs logic to feel safe. They confuse hesitation with wisdom and call caution maturity. The one who leaps has already faced the cost. He has measured the fall and accepted it. His action is not a performance for approval, but a break from permission. The crowd lives on commentary. He lives on decision. Those who never risk anything feel entitled to judge everything. The movement does not consult spectators. The void does not reward debate. It answers only to those who step forward without needing witnesses, approval, or agreement. He understands that meaning is created in motion, not in discussion, and that every great shift begins with someone willing to abandon certainty and accept the silence that follows a solitary leap into the unknown. The old...
Some of the sentences he spoke of, you might have, because people always receive information as it fits them. Right now, you might have heard this and interpreted that in your mind. People who want to make a business must go forward and make that business and don't listen to other people and listen to his cowardice and must go and either fail or succeed. And when he is, and the only thing he needs is just success. He doesn't need to prove himself to others. Someone might have just interpreted this as that. I don't care what Nietzsche is saying, by the way. Apply it to my words. I don't care about any philosopher. Okay.
Number two, you have to understand that wisdom lives in the tension between two extremes. Aristotle called this the golden mean, and it's the capacity to hold both sides of every truth at the same time. Discipline and rest, conviction and doubt, strength and softness. The wise man knows which one for each moment is asking for and can oscillate between them at will. Number three, wisdom...
Alright, good points, but he made 2 points into one. That's weird. You know what I mean? He said that a wise man must see both points, see the wrong in this point, see the wrong in this point, see right in both, and don't be limited to just one opinion or one side. Good, yeah, this is one part of wisdom. Not necessarily though, but it's a good virtue to obtain for yourself as a philosopher, as a true philosopher, not just a philosopher. True philosopher. There's a difference. I hate to talk about philosophers because philosophers, and especially those who study philosophy, are such patricks. I'm ashamed to even say that I'm a philosopher. I'm ashamed to say I have a philosophy channel because people will think that I am the same as you guys, not you, the watcher, the one who's watching right now. He made 2 points. First, he said it should be like this, and then Aristotle also said that it's about weakness and strength, this and that, envy and these are 2 different things, but I mean it's still correct. I won't talk about this a lot. This is just okay.
Is the eternal quest for truth, even if no objective truth really exists.
You already know I'm about to explode on this guy's face.
Socrates said you never step in the same river twice. The wise man treats every single answer as simply a step to the next question. Although we may never attain absolute truth, or there may not be an absolute truth, the lover of knowledge will always continue to seek it anyways. In this case, the road is the final destination. Number 4.
As I said, knowledge and wisdom are 2 different goddamn things. And understanding is limited. What I mean is, there are actually some points that you must admit that you don't know anything. Let's say people 500 years ago, philosophers must have come up front and be like, I feel like we do have free will because I can see a lot of people changing their lives, taking control, and I can feel it myself. We do have free will. But since I'm not sure, because I haven't really studied every molecule of my body and brain, and because we haven't measured our soul, or if we did, we don't know that it has an effect on our body, on our will. So I can't really be sure. So I'm gonna go ahead and be like and say that I know that I don't know that if we have free will. This is exactly where you should know your limit and stop. Now, by his mindset, not his mindset, but the mainstream philosopher's mindset, in that situation, a philosopher 500 years ago, a philosopher must have chased truth, chased the knowledge of either we have free will or not. And after years of researching, even though he's still not sure, because he puts a lot of work and because of things such as conventional bias, is that what it's called? No, it's called something else. I think that's it. I'm not sure. You know what I mean, all kinds of biases and all that. Because of all those effects, he now writes a book that is very convincing because he's good at writing and because he's cool, because before he said a lot of things that were absolutely correct. So now when he says this, people also believe it, and he believes it. He fooled himself also. So it's said then, in the world of philosophy, we do have free will because Nietzsche said this. So you should stop at some point. That's one of my points to his third point. And then he's like, even if there is no truth, we must chase it. See, this creates an endless cycle of searching and reaching to nothing. Why does he think this is good? Is because when you have that mindset, you invent things, you create art, you live longer, you get girls, or you become strong in any way, and you make a business, or you're a very good, highly paid employee, you become searching for knowledge and searching for meaning creates this loop, because you always believe there is something. Even if you reach the hard wall of reality, you're like, nah, I'm better, ego. I'm better, I'm a human. There must be a reason I'm here, because life is so painful and it's so, what's the word? We don't know anything. I'm trying to look for the word, like the word that describes not knowing anything, like it's hard to grasp. I forgot. You know, I'm Persian, of course I forget. English is my third language, my second is Turkish. And so he keeps going, thinking he's the shit, while he's nothing.
Number 4, wisdom is seeking truth at the expense of the body. Socrates was offered exile from Athens and he chose poison instead. He believed that the truth he was after was worth more than having the body he was leaving behind. The body can interfere with the ability to seek knowledge, and we often become slaves to our own physical urges. So the real wisdom comes at the expense of self-control. Now you're probably thinking, why?
Complete BS, his fourth point. He's talking about how you may abandon your body, but you must preserve your honor. I heard that before. Probably by Socrates too. I heard the quote. This is very wrong. Just because Socrates said something doesn't mean you should apply that knowledge blindly, or just because it made sense to you the first time you heard it, or because it made you feel better or feel worse. Look, Socrates believed that he must sacrifice himself for just so he can step foot on his ideas, even if he dies, because he had a mini religion himself. He thought that he could transfer his wisdom and knowledge to the next life, or that his courage will be gifted, will be rewarded. These are assumptions. These are mini religions. Religion, the ones who were religion and were listening to the video up until now are now triggered. No need to be triggered. Stay calm. It's alright, baby. Comment down below your whole opinion. Or, YouTube has a feature, by the way, you can message people. Just message me. I promise I'll convince you. And if you still don't get convinced, then you're just dumb. You're brainwashed. I don't know. I don't care. No one cares. I'm not here to force anyone. Okay? I'm just a YouTube video.
Now you're probably thinking, why should I even strive for wisdom? And in this regard, I agree with Socrates in saying that wisdom and the study of philosophy is to attain that which is good. And that which is good is to live a fulfilling life. And without wisdom, we cannot know how to live well. And thus wisdom teaches us not just how to live, but to live well. Or in other words, as Socrates said, the unexamined life is not worth living. So go ask those questions, keep moving forward, and keep your mind open.
What he said about why we need to stay wise and keep learning philosophy, and he said that it's in order to live a fulfilling life, and the fulfilling life, Socrates is saying this, he's repeating, and the one is that it's, we feel that we're not just living in a superficial way. Now here I have something to say. I'll just say it in a minute. The people who are meant to be wise, they will get wise. The people who are meant to study meaning and to demand reason out of every single frame of every day, of every week, of every year of their short, miserable, or jolly lives. The ones who are not meant will simply not. It's a spectrum, by the way. It's not just wise and fool. There's a spectrum. Everyone is doing what is right for them. If someone is evil, they are meant to be evil. And I'll talk about why this is the case. Sure, you can change yourself. Someone who's been a fool for 50 years can become a wise, knowledgeable scholar at the last month of his life. Sure, someone can search for meaning and keep adding. He's a very hard-working visionary. He keeps adding to his brain. He reads books. He has multiple experiences in life. And then just ruins himself with the drugs. It's totally fine. Everyone is fine. It's good. There's no wrong choice in life. And I'll explain why in the next videos. Now I have 2 other clips. Let's play them and then we'll wrap it up.
Dostoevsky warned us that tolerance will reach such a level that intelligent people will be forbidden to think, simply to avoid offending fools. And he was right. Today it really does feel like thinking has become dangerous. Not because ideas are harmful, but because people are too fragile to hear something they don't agree with. We have flipped the hierarchy. Sensitivity is treated like wisdom. Discomfort is treated like violence. And questioning anything can get you labeled, attacked, or canceled. They call it tolerance, but most of the time it is just fear. Fear of conflict, fear of responsibility, fear of standing for something real. And here lies the danger. When society's more invested in protecting feelings than protecting the truth, it slowly loses the capacity to think at all. And people who don't think end up getting ruled by those who do. What destroys a culture is not always evil. Often it is the collective cowardice of people who cannot tolerate a different opinion.
Now, we're not talking about preserving cultures, nor we're talking about how you can feel better or feel worse. What I want you to take from Dostoevsky's line here is simply open your goddamn mind to new answers. It doesn't matter from who. Anyone who is telling you the truth is telling you the truth regardless of their age, of their degrees, of their country, nationality, of their looks, of the way they speak, articulate themselves, of their production value. Regardless, it is the truth. Truth is indifferent. So, I know it's difficult for you little philosophers to just see a random 22-year-old talk about how basically all philosophers were fools to an extent. Of course you're offended. Of course you're not going to click on this video. But you must, if you are wise.